never stop, forget it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise, I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up, and welcome back to Pregaming. Here we go. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m., sports money. You know what we do here. We stack them high, we let them fly, we terrorize the bookies, and we build bankrolls. And we do it together in this sports money community that keeps growing by the day. Appreciate everybody coming back here today. And we're going to have a big day. We've got a big hockey slate. And what do we got? 1, 2, 3. This is the most hockey I've given out in any show this year. Big hockey card. Love, love, love these spots tonight. Some we're going to keep riding. Some we're going to bring to the table that we talked about last year that have come back and shown their head. We've got the NBA championship, the Cup championship, excuse me. OKC Thunder, the Milwaukee Bucks. And we got a play in there. Plus 196? 196. 195 or 196. Doesn't matter what. Still plus money is what it is. How about that? Then we're going to talk about bowl season. We're bowling, baby. We got college football. At tonight's game, we pit Memphis with a beautiful 10-2 record out there against West Virginia. Lucky to get in at 6-6. Then we'll look at 2 college basketball games. In the 8 p.m. window, I believe they both lie at Seattle and West Kentucky. And then unbeaten Drake takes on a little K-State action to bring us home and put the bow on the show. So lots to do. You can see we got a full card of action tonight. And it's only right that we make a lot of cash. The thought. See what's going on here. It's like the 4th time it's done that. And that's doing that. Okay. I'll tell you what we don't have time for. Technical difficulties. There's never any time of the day for that. Hope you guys had some fun last night. We're trying some things with this, with Kick and just different streaming platforms to give some more accessibility, trying some different streams out there. And they don't like it when you stream the games. I'll tell you who doesn't like it is YouTube. Flat out, won't have it any other way. Shut your account down. But hey, when you only got, 45 of us following over on Kick? Who gives a shit? Let's try it out and have some fun. And we made some cash last night. So that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, Razor broke the bank. And when he hit that big touchdown parlay, when he finally cashed it out with yesterday's plays, and they shut us down. And I think they did that to us the time before on Monday night. But hey, look, it was 2 games. We had a ton of action. We tried some horse racing as well. And it's the way we're going to do it. That's the way we're going to do it. When we got to go live, we're going to go live. Also, I'm going to go live on Saturday. I'm curious if you guys want to as well. I know it's getting close to the holiday season. And I guess we're in it technically, right? But I certainly don't want to be intrusive if you guys have family time planned. There's a ton of football going on. There's 2 NFL games. There's like 5 college football games. There's some FCS games in there. I don't know why I consider FCS separate, but there's some FCS games in there with no UFC. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Still look at Saturday to be my day to cash some checks and take some names. So maybe we'll get a poll out there. Maybe we'll get a poll and see if that's something you guys are interested in. I'll tell you what I was interested in was last night's action. I felt tremendous about it going in, and I felt even better coming out. I'll tell you why. Because some of those plays were double down opportunities and triple down opportunities And they were cash money opportunities, is exactly what they were. Last night's action, I think it netted us just around, I don't know, it was almost 5 units. I think it was almost 5 units of cash money. How did we get paid? Well, Washington did us dirty. It was only 3-game hockey card. Washington did us dirty. Then you look at Florida Panthers. The beautiful part about the Florida Panthers is they went down. Was it 3-1? I got Florida Panthers tickets at plus 250, plus 300s, plus 400s, plus 525s, and then I think I finally capped out at plus 650. I got to look and see what that ticket was. Unbelievable live spot. This is why the trends are important. The team with the back-to-back loss situation. Now, it's not pretty. It's a little scary. Maybe you play a smaller amount as you live bet it, but you're not chasing. Well, I guess you're chasing, but you got a valid reason to chase. It's not just your arbitrary assessment that, oh, they're going to start a 9-game road trip here, so this is going to be a tough one. No, listen, we got some stats to talk about road trips and that. We'll talk a little bit about why that fallacy and foolishness is going to lead you astray, but we cashed some big bucks there. And then the under 6 was never in doubt. What a tremendous trend that is. And so simple. It was just simple, right? We're getting into under season. You're seeing it slowing down in the NHL. Now, some games, yeah, they're still rapid firing like crazy, but not so much. You know, you want the proof source? Look at all the 6s and now 5.5s the books are laying out there. Teams are familiar with each other now. They're moving in that direction. Defense steps up, goaltending steps up. Going to see some lower scoring hockey games. Keep that in mind. I feel like we talk about this stuff, and then like the next day or a week later, it pops up again. It's like, hey, do this shit for real. Got 2 eyeballs. We see these trends. We're talking aloud to make some cautionaries. Like, here's the big one I heard today. Oh, the favorites crushed it last night and then Sunday, and they're doing it all season long in the NFL. Well, isn't that information you would have liked to have had yesterday? And we gave it out yesterday. Read out those trends to you guys for a reason. Pay attention to that. You're going to see, I think you see a lot. I don't know, some people are watching the show and taking it and letting it sit for a couple of days and then they play it off as their own, or if they're just slow to the party. Highly engaged gambler here. Very dialed in, except for this game. Overtime, killer. They were busted up early in that game, too. I didn't like those points. I laid them anyways. Shit. But our guy came through. Our guy came through again. Got us there. In fact, how many did he end up with? I know it's kind of suggesting if you wanted to have a little fun ride, you take the ladder. Where did he end up? Watch probably ended up with just 2, right? Top performer, 24 points. Yeah, you got 2. Just 2. Okay. And on we go. How about this one here? Texas Tech. First half, no sweat casher for us. And then go down the line. The only thing we didn't cash on in the NFL game was the touchdown parlay. We cashed everything else. Literally everything else. The first half, parlays at plus 108 or 110, cash. Both first half, cash, no sweat. The teaser, Minnesota in the under, cash, no sweat. And then, of course, the Falcons, minus 5.5, cash, no sweat. It's a little sweat. Let's be honest. There's a little sweat. But thank goodness for that blocked extra point because that put us in the game. So, hey, all in all, it was a good day. It was a good day, and we were due for one of those. Just a matter of treading water for a couple of days, back and forth, just kicking around a half a unit. And now we get the build. Now we look to grow this thing and start really seeing some cash stack up. So I'm excited, and it fired up for tonight's card. You know the deal. We got to get to work. It's that time of the show. If you guys haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. Slackers. It only takes you a second. It does help us a ton. The value. I've said it before. YouTube will see people watching by way of thumbs up. They'll say, hey, these guys must like it. Let me find other people that are like these guys and girls, and let me tell them about this. Let me recommend this show to them. And those people are gamblers, and they'll come in with their best bets. And that means collectively we make more money if you close your comment section, hit that thumbs up button, and then pop it back open. That's all I ask. And then we get to work. All right. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. It's time to roll in this show. And you'll notice on the other side here, adjacent to our, or parallel, or the other side of the screen, we have a subtraction to the shit list. It's a breaking news announcement. Not worthy of the breaking news button, but still breaking news announcement. The Clippers came off the shit list. Hopefully you guys did tail that play that I shared with you guys. I mean, there's a bunch of things that we share in here that don't just become official, but they're leans and looks that have been cashing in that Clipper spot. Never in doubt. 144 to 107. They kicked the snot out of those Jazz. And of course, we talked about the James Harden effect. James Harden goes over 40 yesterday. 20 plus points. The minus 3.5 is what it came down to. And it was a nice little plus money stab out there for the NBA. So look, sometimes they're not pretty days. And it sucks to have to come in here and deliver not good performance, not positive results. I don't even know if that was good English. How about that? But I'm ready. I think we're going to have a good opportunity to cash today. So without further ado, you guys know the deal. Get the pen and paper out. It's time to gather our thoughts. The best in the business are here to give you their best bets, their trends, their angles. I got plays. I got best bets. I got trends. I got angles. All these things you're going to want to write down. Takeaways. Whether it be live betting later tonight. What were they saying again? Or, hey, maybe the play comes up again in 2 days, and we talk about that, and you want to circle that spot. All that's good stuff to take notes tonight. And, of course, put your best bets in the chat so we can see what's going on out there. And shout out to the crew out there. Sir Mackey Loves Pie, our newest member. Appreciate Sir Mackey Loves Pie coming into this community. Coming in at the right time, man. Fired up, growing, about to turn into the new year, and all kinds of strategies in place to help us. More live shows, more videos, more content, more cappers, getting winning picks to you guys on a regular basis. So welcome, Sir Mackey Loves Pie. And Sir Mackey Loves Pie, if you've been around for a minute, you know our number one commenter in here, Joseph Thompson, Jover. Hopefully he adjusts with this shrinkage in the NHL, but he says F your under. His Capitals team total over 3.5 is plus 105. Now I'll say this, Joe. The Capitals are 1 day away from the shit list. And they're going to be in there. They're going to be a play today. We got to play on the Caps. I was going to put them on there automatically. Then I thought about it and said, we got one more play, one more chance with them before we end up putting them out there and putting them to pasture. So, and you might be sitting there saying, well, they're one of the best teams in the NHL. How do they make the shit list? Because I can't get on the right side of them. When they win, I lose. When they lose, I win. Or I should say, I lose either way. We're playing a little game of I lose is what it comes down to. If I fade them, they win. If I tail them, they lose. That's how you play the game, I lose. And we don't like to play that game very often, especially with the same damn team. So, it's Joe T. I wish you the best of luck tonight with your over 3.5. And it's a nice plus money score. Shout out to NJ Striker. Because he's on Memphis, minus 5 tonight. College football action. That's a 9 p.m. start. That's a real treat. That is a real treat. Oh, I think I have to run to the liquor store, too, now that I think about that 9 p.m. start. I'm going to have to make that happen. I'm going to have to make it happen. Shout out to Barry. Says, let's get it. AOD's in the house. Voodoo Ranger is number 4. I'm assuming that's the number 4th like button being pushed. Shout out to you, Voodoo Ranger. Let's go. AOD says, how about them Pistons? Yeah, Pistons. But hey, whatever. whatever. Justin McCalvy's in the house. The sports money is money. Our man, rocking and rolling. Textiles is here. There's Barry. Appreciate you, Barry. I see you. Shout out to Jay Main. That's all we ask. Barry, you know? Barry's got one up on everybody. He didn't hit the like button once. Shout out to JW, says hockey rules. C-Man 550's in the house. Andrew G. Dana Kate from each and every stride. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is here. Says, what's up, Mike and everybody? Keith, it was fun last night, man. Good to see you rocking and rolling out there. Sancho says, let's pimp slap the bookies again. Joe W. There's Sir Mackie loves pie. Says, times are rough. I'll shine you ahead for a nickel. I don't need any head shining. I can use some ad, but that's a different story. Gonzo's in the house. He's ready to roll out there. He's got his best bets. He's tracking them for you guys. Washington -1, the Devils -1, and the Kings. You know, he built that NHL model. He's been firing. Winner Circle's in the house. Barry says, yeah, we can't seem to get Washington right. Can't. That's how they're going to end up on the shit list. Who the fuck is that? Igor Sharangovich. Over two. That's got to be a sharp play. Never even heard of the guy. I thought I watched a lot of hockey. Sharp play right there. What teams he play for, Futon? I'll look, but it'd be easier if you told me. Montclair Disciples in the house. There's a new name I haven't seen yet. Hugh Janus is back. JW says, I'd rather slap the books than get slapped. Hell yeah. Lexicons has hit the like. Kelly McKinnis is here. Like smash. Stop Geoengineering's in the house. Appreciate you, Stop Geo. Here's the weather's here to ready to roll. Sir Mackey's questioning Bobby Portis double-double. Lopez under 8.5 points for Jay Main. Game time. Over 4.5 rebounds. I'll tell you my initial thought on that game. This is what my thought was. What's going on with Middleton? If he's in, the Bucks win. If he's out, I think they lose. To how I usually approach those things where I say, I want the team if the player's out. I'll talk to you about that game here in just a minute. We'll get after it. You guys have been patiently waiting. I appreciate that. I do want to see what you guys are on, though. So let's go. Barry says, Sir Matt gave me a membership today. He says, thanks. Yeah, listen. You guys do get a membership. Please give a membership. It is the season of giving. We want to keep building. We want to keep growing. We got members-only stuff going on. We want to let those that are looking to make money benefit from supporting us, supporting this sports money crew. C. James says, sports money for life. Swizz in the house says, yo, Jay Peasy wrote the outro for us. If you don't know, now you know. M's in the house says, let's bounce back. I'm going to keep bouncing. How about that, man? Clemson, money line for Hugh Janus. Montclair Disciples. Clemson money line's a great play. South Carolina has played nobody. Rob says, Vodka style. Hashtag Vodka style. Calgary. Okay, thanks, Futon. Thanks. Look at the Calgary love. Irish King in the house likes Calgary. Kelly McKinnis likes Calgary. Rob McMahon likes Drake. Stop Geo says, DK doing a super boost. Shine. Lillard 60+ combined. Lillard is going to have the shit game. C. James like the Senators. All right. Let's rapid fire. Let's play a little game of let's get this show on the road. Just lay out all 12 bets I made today and just shut the show down. No, can't do that. I like to hang out with you guys. Shout out to Big Scott 510. My man says, what's up, Mikey? Good luck on your action plays. I'm on. Florida, first half -2. K-State. And Braden Point anytime goal. I like it. Why not Braden Point, man? Why not Braden Point? Jay Main says, I'm doing a teamer from Mikey in the chat. Let's go. I'd love to get a chat parlay together. Love to get a little chat parlay. See what happens. Juggler 23's in the house, giving us the goods. Oklahoma City is 27-16 straight up, 29-13-1 against the spread in its last 43 games, playing on 2 days rest. Part of me thinks we'll get to that game. We'll get to that game. I certainly want to share how I feel the outlook looks in this one. All right. I got to make these banners too as we go here, so I apologize. I was delinquent. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Every day there's a lot to do. And a lot to do here is this Buffalo Sabres Montreal Canadiens situation, because things have not been pretty. As we know, the Sabres on a 10-game or approaching a 10-game losing streak. The other side of things, the Canadiens, not much to write home about either. Collectively, the Canadiens have lost 3 of their last 4 games. They lost a tough one to Winnipeg on the road. They got busted up by Pittsburgh, though. They did beat Anaheim, lowly Anaheim, and they lost to the Capitals. The Sabres, it's even worth looking. They lose to everybody. The thing about that is they're on their 3rd straight game on the road. And that last one was in Toronto. So the necessity to clear customs applied to only one individual, or one entourage of individuals, probably the best way to say that. And that happens to be Terry Pegula. Pegula flies into Buffalo or flies into Montreal, has a players only meeting yesterday, and says, basically, start playing hockey. The answer is not outside of this room. It's here. And we're not going to make any big splashes. So get going, was the message that came across the pike. Now, UPL and the goalie situation, the back and forth, injured, not injured, whatever, forced him to use Devin Levi, who's still not ready to be in the NHL. He's not. He comes up for a game or two. I mean, he's been nothing but exposed. And who knows if he's even going to be any good. It usually takes goaltenders 4 or 5 years, AHL and refining their game before they're really somebody. And it's usually around that 24 to 26 mark where you start to see him take off, 20 years old, that is, 26, 27 even. Because it just takes a long time for the speed of the game. And UPL comes in here, Pekka Luukkonen, 8-9-3, 2.8 goals against average, 90.3% save percentage. They got Sammy Montembeault going on the other side of things. Sammy Montembeault is a bit of an enigma. He's 9-13-2 on the season. He's got a 3.16 goals against average, but he leads the league with 3 shutouts. Why? Because he plays a great game, then he plays a shit game. He plays a great game, then he plays a shit game. Line reading 101. Why is the Peanuts 0-7-3 in their last 10 on the road a favorite? Why didn't anybody tell me my camera sipped out? What? Why didn't anybody tell me? What happened? What's going on with this fucking... Ah. Here's the deal. The Sabres are a favorite for a reason. I know JPZ. Sabres no good. I got it. Where's our guy? Where's Real Deal Prime? He loves the Sabres. Sabres on everything. He's to the Buffalo Sabres what Nasty Nate is to the Boston Celtics. Where is that guy? Where's he been? DJ Hardy says it's because Jeff's a scumbag. All right. Bottom line. This is the revenge spot. If you lost at home as a favorite and I go on the road as a favorite in the revenge spot within the same season, they're 425 and 150. Huge revenge angle for the Buffalo Sabres. We played that thing like a game of poker. all season long last year. Just go, 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 go across the board. Those are the things you want to look for. If they were a home, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters when it comes to the situation, let me rephrase that. Let me restart this train of thought. Losing at home is the favorite, and then going on the road and being the favorite is a 3-to-1 ratio, almost 3.5-to-1 ratio, well over 75% win. The flip side, if you lost on the road as a favorite and now you come back home as a favorite, isn't quite as strong a case. And that's because generally the home team, unless they're really bad, is the favorite, right? So it says something that a bad team where we just talked about a suspect line becomes a favorite in a revenge spot. And I'm taking the Sabres. Not only am I taking the Sabres, I'm going to go with a goal scorer prop in this one as well. I got a little goal scorer action. And his name happens to be Tage Thompson. Because he's the best guy on the team. 16 goals in 26 games. The Sabres should score, in 5-on-5, they're projected to score 3.5 goals in this game. In 5-on-5, regulation time. However many goals Montreal puts in for this Tage Thompson bet really doesn't make a difference. And you might be saying, well, why didn't you parlay the two together then? Because I'm that confident Buffalo breaks the streak. You guys know when I get to that 10, I like to flip directions. It's hard to get past it. Offensively, Buffalo zips. How about this? Despite Buffalo's poor play or poor performance, they're the 11th best scoring team in the NHL. So yeah, I want their best goal scorer on a team that almost ranks top 10 in goal scoring in a spot where the owner just had the players only meeting. They made a couple of roster adjustments. All signs point perfect play on for this Buffalo Sabres team. And that's how we're going to open the card. At Tage Thompson, I think I got his goal. Let me see what he's looking at here. Plus 155 is the best number that's out there now for this guy's goal scorer prop. So I like the two. I think you get a small investment here, 2.25 units to potentially return just over 2.5 units, just over 2.5 units. So yeah, I like it. And then what I like about this too is even if Buffalo does shit the bed, they have lost, they haven't won in 10. Well, if Tage Thompson scores, then we still profit in this game. And Buffalo's projected to score. They have almost a top 10 offense. And he's the leader of the squad. All signs point to this being a solid play. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case, but I hope not. I hope not. Scott Fields and Sharks also a top 3 record in the league against the spread at 20-13. And good money probably on top of that, right? Probably, I would imagine. It's got to be good money. We got plus 1.5 with the San Jose Sharks when they were plus 165s. I like that look. Let's go. Yeah. Montclair, we are messing with some guys have Memphis here in the chat. All right, the Islanders in Carolina. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it short. We'll keep it moving at a brisk pace because there is a lot of action to cover here and not a lot of time to do it. So Sorokin pops in here at 9-9-4. He's the confirmed starter for the Islanders. He's got a 2.71 goals against average, and he is sitting there having allowed 3 or more goals in 4 of his last 6 games. And it is up. On the other side of things here, you've got Kochikov going in the pipes for the Carolina Hurricanes. Kochikov. And he's 12-5. But only graded with the serviceable tag. He's at 2.61 goals against average. And he's an 89.5% save percentage. This guy plays on an under team, and yet he's only saving at 89% save percentage. The Sabres. The Hurricanes come in as big favorites. They should be. And they're in a rematch spot. And they just lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. So you got to figure they're pissed off and ready to attack. And I think that's going to lead us to scoring. In fact, when we've got 2 goalies that are struggling to stop a beach ball here, a special little number for us. This is the old write it down situation. The Islanders. Put this over here. Something's going on with my technical setting, and I don't want to be talking and not on camera. I hope you guys can hear me. That would be awful. All right. We got an Islanders overtrend. An Islanders overtrend. Now think about this. On the surface, if you follow hockey, you know the Islanders tend to be an under team. And you know the Hurricanes tend to be an under team, especially at home, although not recently. When you got the Islanders in the dog roll and the total 6 or less, the over is 30-12. It's 30-12-3. The Islanders in the dog roll when the total 6 or less. It's going over by 1.1 goals a game. And if you make it exactly a 6, that pesky little, what happens? It's a 6. It's crappy. It goes over 80% of the time when it's on a 6. And situationally, it opened at a 6. You have the opportunity to make a choice. Do I want to take the 6 or do I want to take the 5.5? I'm going to pay a little juice. I got the 5.5 at minus 120. And then jump in on it. We're starting to see 6s kind of take charge. And I think this is a real trappy under spot, especially when you look at the recent spot between these two teams here. As I mentioned, it's a revenge opportunity for the Carolina Hurricanes, and they're at home. It's funny because they lost in a shutout to the Senators. And then what happens the next game after a team gets shut out? They busted up the Columbus Blue Jackets. But it was a 4-3 loss these two teams had back on December 7th. So 10 days ago they played. They were in the aisle, and they got busted up 4-3. But it went over. Both teams contributed in scoring. I think we get that over again tonight. Now, you can take the 6. Keep the vig down. It says it should go over 6 by 1.1 goals, which would put us at the 7 range, clearly, respectively. If I was going to the casino and not playing on a credit-based account, I would probably consider the 6. Maximize my return. I'm happy to play it both ways, though. I got the local with the credit-based system. I got some of those pay books as well. And I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take a swing. Give me this 5.5. It's minus 120. And again, this should be one of those write them down situations because you want to keep an eye on the Islanders on the road in the dog roll. Actually, I'm sorry, the Islanders in the dog roll with a 6 or less. Islanders, dog roll, 6 or less. 30-12 to the over. Onward, upward. Let's go. What we got next? All right. Not a ton to get into in this one. For me, this is a fade the New York Rangers until further notice spot. It happens. I know. I don't even care about the X's and O's. I don't care. They're a fucking mess. The last game, the number of people I talked to that were like, I can't believe the Rangers. Again, they're a mess. I said they're a mess. I said it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Then they get rid of their captain and they treated him like shit. They tarred and feathered him and got him out of the city. Now the goalie, woe with Shesterkin, how he does sign his contract. They just lost to St. Louis. In St. Louis. This will be their third road game in their last 4 trips. The only team they beat was Buffalo, who's on a 10-game losing streak. So, for what it's worth, that being said, the difference between the Buffalo Sabres being bad and their losing streak, we just talked about their offense. The owner comes in, he speaks to the squad, they're taking some accountability and responsibility. The Rangers, heads buried fully up their behinds. In fact, it was already bad, and they were already talking about looking to make more changes. Now, you take your young superstar, Capo Caco, and you're fucking with him. You're benching him. He doesn't know why he's getting benched. He's now speaking to the public saying, here's exactly what he said. Healthy scratch. Haven't been on the ice too much when the opponents are scoring goals. I have not been the worst guy. But that was me out of the lineup. Healthy scratch. Doesn't understand. Confused. Lost. Angry. Yeah, we're going to eat a little juice. We're going to eat that juice with this Nashville. Now, I know it's Nashville. things aren't going much better for the Predators, but the Predators do have the advantage here of seasoned veterans. Stamkos, Marshall, healthy. Roman Josi should finally get his shit together. And, the problem is there was a little too much dependence, if you will, on Lafreniere. Kreider's fucking dinosaur. Yeah, it's a fade spot. There's not a lot to talk about. I mean, if you want me to tell you who's in goal, I will. I didn't even look. Doesn't matter to me. Igor Shesterkin. Okay, great. He's 3.24 with a 90.7% save percentage. He's allowed 4 more goals in 4 of his last 8 games. They're 2-6 in that 8-game stretch. He's saving at 89.3%. That's why he signed the contract. He was betting on himself, and he saw he was losing. It's like a cash out. It's like an early cash out. And now he's stuck with a shit team that's probably going to go through a rebuild. Then you got Saros on the other side. Saros is sorry. He's 6-14-5. It's not pretty. But I got to take it. It's a fade. It's a fade. You want to come back tomorrow and the Rangers win and you tell me, oh, you got me. Okay. I'll deal with that if I have to. But I think this is a great play. I think this is a love this spot situation. Yeah, JPZ, the Rangers are straight garbage. Spenny Penny Bombs. What's up, Spenny Penny Bombs? My man's in the house ready to rock with us. Let's go. Appreciate you, AOD. We're going to get this cash, boys. Let's go on to this next game. What do we got next? Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love a little? Who doesn't love a little of this action? Now, this trend I'm going to read to you guys exists in 2 spots tonight. 2 spots tonight. I can go outside and do the final yard work of the year. We're supposed to get hit with some snow tomorrow, so I'm a little dehydrated. Bear with me. Could have also been the half a gallon of vodka I consumed last night. I could have done it too. But we got the Ottawa-Seattle spot. Now, first and foremost, you got a lot of jerk-offs talking about the 9-game road trip this Ottawa Senators team is going to be on. I don't want to speak disparagingly about individuals that are novice hockey cappers that look at the calendar and they say, hey, this is the beginning of a 9-game road trip. From a hockey perspective, let me tell you the way shit goes down. These are young dudes in the primes of their lives with giant fucking bank accounts. And they go on the road, they don't have to spend any money. So that money's just eating a hole in their pocket, picking away, burning. They can feel it on their leg every single day they get up. What can I go spend some money on? And the answer is nothing. You're on the road. You're in fucking Winnipeg. Sorry. You don't even want to deal with the Canadian currency. But my point around all of this and that 9-game stretchery, you almost immediately unfollow those people. Matter of fact, that's a personal request. Do them a favor, unfollow them, and report their actions as potentially harmful. Because there's a Christmas break in between here. These guys won't play for a week between the 22nd and the 28th of December. I know it's a road trip. I get it. They're still, on paper, it's 9. Well, guess what? It's really 11 and 13 on paper. But they got a week off. And what's the significance of Christmas break being inside of there? Nobody parties like hockey players, period. They get after it. They get cocktails. They get together. They have Christmas parties. They do stupid things. The chemistry gets pushed through the roof. And then they come back refreshed, recharged, and ready to attack. So let's just put a little fucking pin in that 9-game road trip. Because there's a week off in between, dum-dums. None of you guys, of course. Just the shepherds leading their flock astray. And I think it's a fired up situation. Ottawa's playing well right now. They've got 5 wins in their last 6 games. They've been beating everybody. Yeah, Pittsburgh 3-2 in overtime. They beat up Carolina 3-0. They blanked them in Carolina. That's the under capital that we talked about. They busted up Anaheim. They lost to the Islanders, but the Islanders were in that stretch. The Islanders had just taken down Carolina the day before. And they busted up the Red Wings. 2-1 game in the Red Wings. But they're playing competitive hockey. Things you want to see. Furthermore, I don't know. I don't understand the Tuesday significance of this one. But you hear the saying, teams are a favorite for a reason. Road favorites, again, worth acknowledging, just like we talked about in that Sabres spot. Road favorites, lined less than a -130. Off a win against non-divisional opponents on a Tuesday, are 41-13. I don't know what the Tuesday doing sitting in there, but it's a thing, and it's a big thing. It's a 41-13 thing. And they're covering by over 1.6 goals a game in that spot. They're winning by over 1.6. So you're picking up a situation where this trend also, by the way, exists for the Boston Bruins. So if you were looking at Calgary and thinking you're catching a break, think again. And this is a great price point. You can catch this Ottawa Senators team right now at -125, 41-13 trend. Also, by the way, it is a 21-33 trend to the under. Now go look at the totals. You got 5.5s again, and they're juiced to the under. I gave you the heads up a week ago. We're getting into under season in the NHL. It makes a ton of sense. But the Ottawa Senators, for me, is the way to go when you're catching them at -125. They opened up at -114, so they are moving in that direction for a reason. We have the code. It's not the sports almanac, but we have the code that the bookies are using as they set these lines. And it is by way of our friends at SDQL and the database language that we can figure out. We can crack that code. It takes time. You got to invest in something. If you treat it like a business, it pays you like a business, and that's the way it goes. And investing and figuring some of this shit out makes a lot of sense. Now, the last spot that I got for you guys is the parlay. It might be hip to be square, JPZ. It might be. So I loaded in Carolina and Washington. This is Washington's last chance before they become proud winners of the "You're the newest member of the shit list" community. By the numbers here, again, it's Carolina in the bounce back spot, and a revenge spot, rather. Right? We just talked about that. Road favorites that lose, that come back home as a favorite, they're still still winning over 65% of the time. It just works out better when they're in the Sabres position and they're on the road as a favorite, winning over 80% of the time. But they're still winning in that scenario. That is the Carolina Hurricanes. We talked about that game already. The other side of the equation, the Capitals, who buried us last night. They got busted up as well. Game was close till like the third period, but it was a 3-1 final. And a second leg of a back-to-back for these guys as well. So I think they want to get that bad taste out of their mouth as soon as humanly possible. Of course, they came in on a monster win streak before that, beating everybody up. And the Blackhawks, talk about selling high on the Blackhawks. Well, they just beat the Islanders 5-3. What a great opportunity. What a great positional play here. And it's a +110. So what's great about this is it doesn't regulations, overtimes, -1. They just need to win the games. That's all they need to do is win the games. Juggler 23 says the key to making good lines are strong power ratings. Interesting. Fucking cup. This cup. The proportionate weight of this cup to the amount of liquid that it holds is just out of balance. Just heavy. For an almost empty glass, it's way too bad. Imagine getting popped in the head with that in a bar fight. Woo! Well, no, you got hit with that thing. Yikes. All right. Onward, upward. We got to move on. Let's go into this battle with the NBA Cup Championship. I'm a little surprised to see the Bucks in this thing. I thought the Bucks just didn't care. I didn't think they wanted to play basketball. No, Giannis wants out. Sometimes the beat writers make you go astray, I guess. I don't know. The only thing I can think of in this scenario is maybe Giannis is thinking, hey, maybe I should have one of these championships in my back pocket. And the OKC Thunder are a young team. Obviously, spry. Last year was a big move forward for this squad. And they roll it again tonight. Big opportunity to go put I don't know if it's settle the chip on their shoulder. I'm not sure what it is. But the Thunder are 16-0 against the spread when they're not a 7-point or greater favorite after allowing less than 38.6% shooting the previous game. So when they don't get stretched real wide after shutting up an opponent down, they're 16-0 against the spread. The average cover on those spreads, 8.2 points. By the numbers. I took a little bit of a different approach. I think we see some scoring in this game. You know, the total's been flirting all day. I probably should have read you guys the spreads here, huh? +5 went to 5.5. Pretty much split. 51% of the bets and 51% of the cash are on the OKC Thunder. Let's move to 0.5 point. But the Middleton factor is key. The total went from 213.5 to 215.5 to 216s, back to 215.5, back to 216s, back to 215.5, back to 216s, with 92% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the total. Now, I get it. OKC's got a strong defense. But, look, how are you going to stop Giannis? He can go out there and do whatever the hell he wants. The question to me is, can Shea match him in terms of points and production? And if Shea wants to take the next step forward, his motivation's got to be, let me go out there and shut down Giannis in a big game. Now, we'll see what this Middleton character does. Let me see if does anybody have an update for this Middleton? Let me look. Doubtful. I wouldn't be surprised if Bucks win this game outright. I really wouldn't. I took the total. I parlayed it with Shea to get 30 plus points at +192. Over 215.5 and Shea 30 plus points +192. Now, you can follow all my action at BetStamp, Mikey Money, no space in between. But if Middleton does play, add his points to the equation. And then you've got some sweat-free bonus offers from DraftKings to go attack this thing. I can't figure out the side. Daily Sport. Yeah. All right. KV says, yeah, he's due. He's absolutely due. After getting shut down twice. Montclair says, no need to get fancy. Bucks money line. GF the leading scorer tonight, huh? Spenny thinks OKC rolls. Giannis triple-double? Is the Giannis triple-double in play? What if you parlayed Shea and Giannis triple-doubles? I don't even know if that's statistically possible. That'd be awesome. Let me see. I'm not even going to look. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But Textile says the 10 plus point. Yeah. I like him as part of the option. I think this is a good game. I think we can see him go off here. I think Shea can go out there and get it done. It's been pointed out, he's been stuffed. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bucks wanted to win this game. outright. It ain't going to be any easier without Middleton in the lineup, though. That is for sure. All right, I've got, we got a whole bunch of stuff still, huh? Rushia says you can parlay the triple-double, huh? Spenny. Bucks are 4-0 on a Tuesday. This is a tough game. Spenny says 95-1 if you want them both together. Yeah, Bo, I'm the same, man. I'm torn on the side. I can't. Maybe one of you guys can push me over the edge. I mean, look, we got countering 4-0 points here. OKC's 4-0 against the East. The Bucks are 4-0 on Tuesdays. But Spenny says no to the triple-double. Okay. I just need to get the points. I don't care about the triple-double at this point. And it's a nice score. The total over. Have a competitive game so that they're not just playing the minutes restriction. And let them score. Let them rise to the challenge in this one. I'd watch those two play ball if that's how they wanted to define the championship. That should be the rule. If they tie and have to go to overtime in this Champion Cup, then they should have to play one-on-one. Wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be fucking great. Oh, yeah. Benny, I mean, that's the problem I had, man. I saw him in Philly. You going to trust Doc in a championship game? Nice is looking for some first quarter looks, though. I want action. It's a big game. I think because it's a big game, I think that's why we are going to see some things open up. I don't think it's just going to be that sit around, play defense, that dodgy kind of dokey style of things here. And the money's coming in on that over, and it's moving. I already gave you guys some of the trends behind it, so. Middleton being out. He was going to be my third leg. Big Scott's SGA double-double. Now, that's a look. Spenny, what do you think about that look? Big Scott with the SGA double-double plus 375. It's not a bad way to back into this thing, too, because if he does get, say, he fucks up the point. Now, the points have been running all day. I think it opened up around 29.5. Excuse me. There's a rare afternoon yawn from your boy here. I told you I was outside. I was working the land all day today. But yeah, that's where I'm going to attack it. Let's go. We got college still. We got college spots to get to for you guys, and then we'll get you out of here. Let me just move fast here. Let's just roll through this thing quick. I took Virginia, West Virginia, and I'm proud to say it with the +6. Here's another asshole spot of the day. Yeah, we know that coaches leaving programs and then the teams going into bowl games, they get busted up. It ain't pretty. I think it's something like I think every team won last year that had the existing coach versus the team that didn't, if I remember from bowl games. And you got to play bowl games a little bit different. The transfer portal is a big factor, but here's the thing. West Virginia finished the season 6-6. They're playing a ranked number 25 Memphis at 10-2. Yeah, they got rid of their coach in West Virginia, but the offensive coordinator's the guy. He's the interim. So how much is that going to impact and buy into that coach change angle? The guy that's still running the offense is still out there running the offense. Now, you could argue maybe he's the problem. But if he was the problem, why aren't there more kids in the transfer portal? I think there's only one. Is it a wide receiver? I think there's only one wide receiver that entered the transfer portal. When you play on a shit West Virginia team, you ain't going. But the motivation to go out there and show that, hey, it was the coach that's the problem. We're the solution, I think rings true, especially when you have a conference-ranked team out there. We can look at the trends. We can look at the numbers. Let's go at it here. West Virginia opens up at 4.5. 10-2, 25 in the nation at 4.5. They've moved to some 5.5s. There were some 6s starting to come back. You have 70% of the bets and 64% of the cash on Memphis. Then you look at the total. The total's moved up 2 points And it's got a ton of sharp action on it. 58.5 has moved to 60.5. It's got 52% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the over. Seeing points, which makes sense. Big 12 programs don't play shit for defense. West Virginia struggles to play shit for defense anyways. West Virginia gets busted up against Texas Tech 52-15. Memphis takes down the Green Wave 34-24 in their last outings. But I'll tell you, I went to West Virginia side. First of all, the best outcome for the books, well, you guys have heard me say these before, and they fucking ring true. The best outcome for the books, West Virginia wins this game, covers the spread. Teams that pass more than they rush in bowl games are 77-119 against the spread. Think about that. To me, that says you're playing a secondary you haven't seen before. You're really not competent and capable of running the ball. You're just used to dinking, dunking, and beating up the teams that you play. And when you get strange opponents, you find less success. In bowl games where there's a top 25 ranked team against non-rankers, 66-88 against the spread are those teams in the top 25. That makes a lot of sense. We got a chance to go out here and play a top 25 ranked team. We're trying. And the lack of movement and transfer portal, big factor. Here's another Tuesday. Bowl games on a Tuesday. So this one I thought was kind of neat because it does have a couple different options as we move through the rest of the bowl game season here. But bowl games on a Tuesday, when you have more rest than your opponent, those teams are 9-27 against the spread. I think that has a lot to do with trying to wait to see who you're going to be playing. And the team that's getting the last minute nod is excited to be playing there. And it kind of goes back in and dovetails non-ranked teams playing ranked teams and winning against the spread. Those kids are happier to be there. Now, am I presumptuous in saying Scooters, Coffee, Frisco Bowl's not the draw that Memphis thought they would get? I would say pump your brakes. You're fucking Memphis. And I'm taking West Virginia. I got the +6. I like a teaser if you want to tease it and you want to take the over. Jump in on that over. Go fire away at that. Shit. Hang on one second. I do like the teaser with the over. I want to see what happens here. I know it's early, like the earlier process here, you know, the lesser of the talent out there. Is there enough defense to go stop it? The challenge that I had and why I didn't come in here with the teaser and I just went with the straight side is because I think if you're shutting down that passing offense and you're not covering the spread, and they're not good at running the ball, I think that just, to me, it just seemed like the more readily playable situation was jumping in and taking advantage of a suspect beat up kind of secondary, if you will, I guess, or a higher ranked team. I think that just made a lot of sense. Sorry, I'm doing two things at the same time. Sorry. I didn't want to miss this here, and I just realized I didn't get this one in yet. Okay. So I got West Virginia. I take West Virginia +6, the best numbers you can get out there right now. 5.5. Look. Live dog alert. Now, I feel like a dick if I come in here tomorrow and Memphis crushes these teams by 20 points or 30 points. Yeah, I will. I'll feel pretty bad. But I do think this is a live dog alert, and I do like the opportunity to go get this cash. So we're going to take a shot. We'll have games I like to play all the bowl games. I don't necessarily go wild and crazy and chase it. This is where you definitely got to you got to watch these games. If you're going to live bet these bowl games, don't just look at a number. And, you got to see how these teams are. You can see right off the gate, are they flat? Are they inspired or are they pissed off and checked out? I guess is the way it comes down to it. Best outcome for the books. West Virginia covers the spread. Nasty Nate says West Virginia over. KV is asking about Dame for the first basket. Yeah, but Steve, the new coaching staff is the old coaching staff. Isn't the interim the West Virginia setup? And I didn't think there was a mass exodus. I gotta look at some transfer portal. Let's take a look. Two players. Josiah Trotter, the top linebacker for West Virginia, committed to Missouri. He's in the transfer portal. And a guy that didn't really play much on the season, the cornerback, TJ Crandall, had 122 snaps. He's in the transfer portal. Memphis portal. Jesus. Guy's even played since week 5, so he's irrelevant. Memphis is looking pretty good. Mario Anderson, their running back, a potential opt-out. Go figure. Because they run the ball poorly. And they're in a situation where they're going to run the ball poorly. I take this West Virginia spot. I like it. Give it to me. We'll see. You do have to tread lightly, though. You do want to make sure you take a second to look at that. Get it right. You don't want to be sitting there expecting a certain style of game plan, and then all of a sudden it kind of blows up in your face. This game here is quick and easy for us. I'm going to jump on Seattle. This is the Sharp Report game of the day here. The big steam coming in. I don't even know what that program is. Why the hell are those notifications even on? And look at this. 98% of the bets and 95% of the cash come in on Seattle. Look, they're 4-6 on the season. They're 1-4 on the road. And yet the money's coming in, and it's enough to shook the book. 7.5's gone down to 6.5's, gone down to some 5.5's with this Seattle squad. 81% of the bets, 82% of the cash are on the over. Hasn't moved a lick or a tick. And, bottom line, right? Western Kentucky coming in hot. They won their last 4 games. Probably getting geared up and ready to roll for bowl season or for conference play. But, man, they haven't played anybody. They got Murray. They beat Murray 81-76. They got Tennessee State 84-60. And Evansville 79-65. Probably the big win, the big claim to fame, that Marshall game where they won 90-82. Probably the big factor in that thing, I guess, as a whole. Not enough to scare me for sure. There's some big over trends in this one. When the total's between 143 and 152, the overs have gone at 88 and 53 clip. But I'm going to tail on the Seattle side of things here. The Sharps coming in on it. I think more battle tested. They got the UC San Diego spot out there. They beat them up 84-71. They were 7-point dogs. They got roughed up by Furman. Then they played Duke, and it wasn't great playing Duke for sure. But they come back out. They covered against Duke, by the way. They beat Presbyterian. Then they lose to UTEP as 3.5-point dogs on the road. They're back on the road, and they've shown that they are resilient and can bounce back under fire. I don't know about live dog. I see 6.5 still. I see 5.5 now. And I see a bunch of 6s. So I jumped in there with some Seattle at plus 6.5. But the game that I really like, that one was just simply, look at the Sharp Report has been firing. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss out. But I looked at Drake and K-State. That'll bring the bow on the show for us here as we wrap this thing up. And we got some intersecting zeros. Yeah. Who doesn't want a little intersecting zero action in their lives? There's some big spots like Auburn. I'm not laying 40 points against Georgia State. Anyways, Drake opens up. Look at this. The 9-0 Drake plus 4.5 moves down to plus 1.5. And 98% of the bets and 91% of the cash are on Drake. Lowly K-State. But opened up as a 4.5-point home favorite against an undefeated team in college basketball. Worth noting, not saying that K-State's going to win this thing outright or not, but if you can find yourself in a position where you're picking up 12 or 13 points live, maybe that's where you want to jump in. The total, on the other hand, is where we're going to play ball. 136.5 has dropped to 133.5. Yet we have 91% of the bets and 83% of the cash on the over, and it is going under. Tick down, down, down. Probably the longer we wait, the more this is going to drop. Collectively, when you look at these two teams, when Drake is the favorite, they are an 0-4 team to the under. When K-State's the favorite, they're 4-4. I ran off them as both of them as favorites because By the time this thing gets rolling, they could very well be a pickup. Drake in the underdog roll straight up is 3-0 for what it's worth. And we've got a situation where K-State's coming in having gone over the total 4 of their last 5 games. Drake, on the other hand, at 9-0, plays a slower paced basketball game, boxing teams out, 3-1 to the under in their last 4 games. But K-State comes in here with the intersecting 0 for us, 8-0 to the under. When the total's less than the previous game, and they're after a spot where they committed less than 14 turnovers and didn't cover by 5 or more points. That's the K-State flip side. And, oh, by the way, those games are going under the total by 11 points. Drake, 8-0 to the under. When they're in the dog roll, they had more than 23 shots and had more than 73 points the previous game, and those games are going under by 11. And we've got reverse line movement. Bookies showing fear to this under, which is a suspiciously low number to start with. Plenty good for me, 133.5. Under 133.5. Drake in K-State to bring us home. That's an 8 p.m. game as well, and that's going to do it. That is a whole lot of action tonight. Normally, after a big night, I like to kind of slow it down a little bit. Not tonight. Tonight we're going to fire. It's a great college basketball card. If I didn't like the hockey card so much, I would have spent some more time in the old world of college basketball here. I can tell you Houston Christian's a live dog. Western Illinois looks like a great spot there at home. I think you look across the rest of this card. That Merrimack-Stanford game's got underwritten all over it. There's reverse line movement in there. I know I'm rapid firing, but you guys can always go back and listen and check it out for yourselves if you are looking for some of that action at the very end here. To me, I would say Seton Hall over Villanova, although Villanova's starting to come back and play more like the team that they were. And St. Francis, PA, and Maryland. That thing almost made the card here as the under. 146.5, stayed at 146.5, and you got 76% of the bets and 76% of the cash on the over. It starts at 7:30. I may add that game. That might be my last ad. I'm all kinds of problems tonight, huh? That's what I get for working the land. That's going to do it. That's how we're going to get paid tonight, you guys. That's a rapid fire across the league out there. I don't know if there's anything else I left on. I think I gave it all to you guys. I think that's everything. I think I gave everything to you. That's nothing left for me to talk about other than how we're going to get paid. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Sports Money. This is what we do Monday to Friday. And, of course, you can check out my man Ramon Scott and the Morning Steve. You can check him out every morning, every single morning at 9 a.m. doing his thing, giving you guys all that early steam report, getting some great CLV. Ramon says Habs and Kings have already scored. All right. The next question is who scored it? Good luck with everybody in your action today. Thank you guys all for coming in here, checking us out. On behalf of the Sports Money crew, good luck tonight. Thank you for supporting us. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Rocking and rolling, doing this thing that we do. Good luck with all your action. Let's see if we got this. See if we get this outro back in play here. 'Tis the season for the holidays. Why the hell not? Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep.